Hello guys and welcome to a new video. So today I'm very excited because I am finally going to be able to assemble a kit to capture my personal favorite look for adult Gohan. So in front of us here we have the Ultimate Gohan from the superhero movie. This is the most recent Gohan, or one of the most recent Gohan S.H.Figuarts. We have the Teen Gohan. But anyways, today, we're going to be taking a look at this right here. This is AFFM Customs Gohan Belt Kit. I will put his name there, and I will also be sure to include a link to his eBay page in the description below. Quick little disclaimer, he does this kind of sporadically whenever he can 3D print the belt kits. He has two options. He has this one here to replicate Gohan's look from Broly's Second Coming with white socks. And then he also has one with the red socks to represent Gohan's training outfit when he fought, or not fought, but sparred with Goten. Anywho, I do want to give some credit to Wasting Money. I did see his video, and through his video, I was able to purchase this kit. So I will include that video in the description down below. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So you may notice that this Gohan here actually is Super Saiyan here. All I did was I purchased on Mercari, of course, the CT Toys Super Saiyan Gohan head loose. Got it for like, I think 10 bucks. I really love the look of this head. It's perfect, honestly. I think it's a great alternative rather than having to spend so much money on the authentic one, because if you don't know, this Super Saiyan Gohan head, the authentic S.H.Figuarts one, was kind of like a DLC accessory where it only came with one of the gammas. I'm not sure which one, but since it came with a pricey figure, to get the head, it goes for like 60 bucks, which is like crazy. You're paying the price of a figure for a head, which I could never get behind. So I got the CT Toys one, which is like a third party, and it looks fantastic. And it fits perfect because it's pretty much designed for this figure, and it looks great. So now let's take a look at the kit itself. So right here is everything that comes with the kit. You have these two kind of socks, or like, I guess, shin wraps here that are white, which indicates that this is the Second Coming Broly Gohan look. Sorry, that's a mouthful. Then you have the shoes, looking pretty nice. Then you have the belt here, the little peg hole for these two sashes. You have a shorter one, or rather one that's just kind of relaxed and draping down, and the other one that seems longer, and I think it's just blowing in the wind. And then you do have two of his little wrist cuffs here. So here I have a steaming cup of water that I just had heated up in the microwave. The reason I have this, and maybe you can kind of pick up some of the steam there, but the reason I have this is because in order to kind of assemble this guy, you need to heat up the figure so that you can take it apart. So I just took him apart from the waist here. So first thing I'm going to do here is heat up the feet so I can attach this right here. So I was able to remove them relatively easy. Here's the shoes. Here's the little sock part, the ankle part. Now, you are going to discard of the ankles and the shoes, but this peg right here, you're going to keep it because you're going to need it for when assembling these. So let me just pull this out real quick, and then I'll show you what it looks like assembled. A little safety tip, use some pliers because the water is really hot and I burned myself already. So really do recommend using some handy dandy pliers. Now, I don't want to use a plier to pull apart the peg because I don't want to like break it. However, if you leave it in the water long enough, it should be able to slide out. I'm going to leave it in there a little bit longer, and then we're going to try again. Alrighty, so here is the leftover stuff that you kind of just set to the side. And then here are the two pegs I was able to pull out. So you want to dry that off. So I am drying that off real quick. I'll set the other one here drying. So they do have I believe indicators here to indicate which is the left and the right. So let me just look for that real quick. So you could barely see it, but here there is a little L. So now that I know that this is the left, all I have to do is plug in the left shoe, which should be this one here. Let me actually do it this other way. Okay, so I realized I was doing that wrong. I have to actually put it on the figure first before actually putting it with the sock and everything. So now that I've done that, I just kind of pop that peg from earlier into this shoe. I want to make sure I get a snug fit in there. I may dip this. I don't know how the 3D printed material is, so I don't want to dip that in there and then it be messed up. I don't know. Let me fidget around with this and then I'll let you guys know. Alrighty, guys. So I found that popping the peg in on the shoe, then plugging it into like the shin area made it a lot easier. But as you can see, we're all plugged in here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is just kind of set the legs here in the back. Now moving on to what I've heard to be is the tricky part of this. That is the wrist cuffs. So what I'm doing right now is I'm heating them up in the water. And I'm not just heating up the wrist. I'm heating up the entire like kind of arm. The reason I'm doing that is because I want to pop off the forearm so then I can just kind of focus on the wrist. So there's one forearm. For the left arm, we're going to do it with the right now. So here I have the right and the left forearm. I also went ahead and removed the pegs from the hands because you're going to need to take that off. So now the hard part is like removing this. It's like glued on. So I did see you have to like kind of play with it for a while and like heat it up and stuff. So I'm going to do that and then I'll get back to you guys. Alrighty guys, so I'm back. So what I went ahead and did is I reheated the water some more. And I did move the cup off to the side. So I'm going to leave this wrist in here for, I'd say, maybe like 20 seconds. And then I'm going to try to pull the wrist wrap off. See if we'll make it any easier. Alrighty, so after some prying and putting in and out of the hot water, I was able to remove the wrist cuff for the left hand. So now we're going to go and tackle the right hand, or rather the right forearm. Alrighty, so this right forearm was most definitely a lot easier because I kind of already got the hang of it. You just have to kind of pull, heat it up, and it'll come off with a nice, easy rip. This is kind of what they look like after. The cuffs are kind of ruined because you're going to have to use like pliers to remove them because they're like glued on there. So this is probably the only thing I'd say in the entire kit that is kind of ruined. Because everything else, like, I could still reuse these shoes, and obviously I can reuse the belt, but the cuffs are kind of, I guess, like, deformed. So, anyways, now let's throw on the new cuffs. Alrighty, guys, so what I went ahead and did is I removed, obviously, the arms, like you saw, and then I removed the wrist peg, I heated it up, I plugged it back into the arm, and then after I plugged it back into the arm, I put the wrist wraps, and I applied the tiniest, I don't want it to spill anymore, but the tiniest smudge of super glue, like I'm talking about like a little trickle drop, because I didn't want there to be a gap, so I just pushed it in, held it in for like 20 seconds. I think that was a little extra. I'm still doing it now. And I just kind of let the little super glue bond. I was very careful not to get anything in the peg hole or anything, but just around the edges of the wrist, so you can plug the wrist wrap on and you're just sure that those won't come off anytime soon. But there you go. That's how it looks. Alrighty, guys. So finally, this was probably like the most annoying part of this all. Applying this here and just kind of getting this to stay. Really, really annoying. But now let's just put on the waist wrap. I guess that's what you call it. And we'll finally be done. Alrighty, guys, so I did decide to go with the longer wavy sash as I figured it suited the figure well, but now, the moment of truth. Bam! Oh my gosh, and now we have Gohan from his appearance in Broly's Second Coming. Guys, I highly recommend picking this up if you haven't already. I know a large bulk of this video consisted of me actually assembling the kit, but I just wanted to show you guys how it kind of went. My biggest takeaways from assembling this kit would be ready to heat up the water multiple times unless you have it boiling. You want to be gentle. You don't want to mess up the paint. Be careful. Like I said, I used this little smudge of super glue for the wrist, and I got all over my finger there. But as for the accessories that are left behind or the things that you kind of discard, like I mentioned, you have everything that's reusable with the exception of the original wrist wraps. Those are kind of destroyed. So there you are. So yes, it is a necessary sacrifice. I really truly do recommend picking this up. The kit retails for about 28 bucks. Like I said in the beginning of the video, AFFM Customs releases these kind of sporadically whenever he can print them out, as he does print this in-house. So just be patient, but I highly recommend picking up this kit as it will elevate your Gohan to another level, guys. So thank you all for watching. Be safe and stay tuned for some future reviews and videos. Peace.